Alright, this is SSLFamilyDad, and again here with part 2 of the chicken coop construction. So, just going to put the detachable 4-foot by 8-foot chicken tractor on here. So it's going to be about 6 feet tall, between 6 and 5 feet tall, just depending on how the ground level's out here. And so I'm just going to get this area all leveled out. I've got a bit of a slope here, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I'm on a bit of an angle here, so I'm going to try to level this area out so that I can roll the chicken tractor right up and it'll slide and detach, or attach nicely, squarely to the chicken coop here. So I'm going to level this area out and then we'll start building the frame for it. Alright, so one of the methods that I always find useful to try to level an area out, basically just have a 4x8 section here that we're going to try to level out. Just find the lowest corner in the point that you're going to level out here. So this, I know just based on the way the ground slopes, this is my lowest corner, and then that's the highest corner. And I just took a piece of 2x6. You know, it's not perfect. I know there's a little bit of bow in the wood, but it's pretty darn close. So rest that up on the ground on that end, and then just go ahead and build it up on this end until you get a nice level, until it's nice and level across the board. And this distance here off the ground at this end, which I know just based on the wood, that's 3.5 inches plus 1.5 inches plus 1.5 inches, so 6.5 inches there is what we are off the ground in that corner. And so that's basically, I need to dig this corner down 6.5 inches. In this case, it works out pretty well. I'm actually just going to kind of level this off up 1/2 inch here and make it an even 6 inches at the top, and then I'll put a 2x6 across there to kind of hold that dirt back, and that'll be part of my frame. So so this is going to work out really well for this project. But just a little tip on kind of an easy way to help you get started and figure out how deep you need to dig to level out an area. Alright, so we've got our area all leveled out here, and I built a 4-foot by 8-foot box. It's the 2x6s. These are treated. I bought these ones treated because I know they're going to be supporting the frame here, and they're going to be in contact with the ground and what and stuff like that. So I'm going to also stain all of this. But so this is the basic foundation of the chicken tractor. We'll have a wheel on each corner of it, and we'll go ahead and just build up the rest of the frame. It's going to be 6 feet tall on this side and 5 feet tall on this side, and it'll keep the same slope as this roof. It'll just be a little bit lower than this one. Put a roof on top, and then we'll do hardware cloth all the way around. We'll do a door at this end, and we'll do one egg box inside, one nesting box inside, so they can lay eggs while they're out and about the yard. So so the next step here is going to be to start framing in the sides and walls of this, and the door and all that good stuff. So go ahead and get that done here and show you the progress. One of the best parts about these projects, I think, is getting some time to have some helpers. Summer, what are you building here? Good job, honey. Alright, so we've gotten quite a bit done here, actually. We skipped a few steps due to some bad weather for taping here, but so once we got the box all leveled and squared here at the bottom frame here, 2x6s. The next step that I did was put the 2x4 studs in. So I put 4 studs on each side. The ones on this side here are 6 feet tall, one on this side here are 5 feet tall. And I basically just attached those studs to the bottom inside rim of that 2x6 frame. All the way around, I just put some 3-inch deck screws in there, 2.5-inch deck screws in. And I did the same thing on this side here. So those are just kind of screwed into the inside. And then I also, so that I have a good flat surface on the front to staple my hardware cloth to, I put an extra 2x4. So this is 2 2x4s thick here. So I've got an extra 2x4 running in between here. Just to step back and show you. That's on the end here. This is going to be a door. So the hardware cloth will have a flat surface to tie to there, all the way along the bottom, and then I did the same thing on that end. And then there's also this runner here in the middle. So the hardware cloth will be able to staple to all that. That stuff's pretty rigid, so if we're using chicken wire on this chicken coop here, the chicken coop, or the chicken wire, whatever it's called, is a lot cheaper, but it's a lot flimsier too, and it never really lays flat, so I chose to spend extra money and get the hardware cloth, so hopefully that'll go up all right. So after I got the walls all put up there straight, I've got the same thing on the top. I've got a runner here that goes along the top, and then the 2x4s are just screwed into the inside of that. So that was like a square frame I put up on each side. Next thing I did was built the rafters, and so I just cut these to fit right inside that wall. So these don't, like the chicken coop over there that I did, those actually sit on top of the walls coming up. This one here just screws right in, right into the end. I just put some screws right into those joists. Did the same thing here, and there's 4 of those total. 1 at the other end and then 2 in the center. So then the next thing I did was just put these 1x4s in. There's 4 of those 1x4s, and those run the length of the across all the rafters, and their sole purpose is just so that you have something to hold up and support the roofing in case we get some snow and stuff like that on it, and also to give them something to secure to. So those are all nailed right into this these 1x4s, and I went and cut off all those big nails stuck through here, through all these 1x4s. So I went and took a Sawzall and cut all those off so nobody pokes themselves in the head. This here doesn't have much of an overhang, so you can see along the back here there's just about an inch, maybe an inch overhang here, right down the side and get out of the sun here. So that doesn't overhang quite as much as the chicken coop, but this is basically just to keep, you know, the majority of the rain and snow out from the bottom of here, so the chickens can, you know, if we get a rainy day where it's just kind of drizzly all day or whatever, the chickens can hang out underneath the chicken coop under here. It'll be dry, and then it should be fairly dry in here. I might throw some straw and stuff in there so they can scratch through and that, but all in all, you know, this part of it came together real well. So the next step I'm working on here is getting the door built, and basically what I did was just framed in a square here. Get out of my shadow. So I just framed in a square, and then I'm securing this straight. So what I did was I drilled some holes in here that are larger than my screws, and then I'm just using these deck screws, and I'm zipping those all the way in, so it's sitting in here like that, on each piece of wood. So I pre-drilled the hole so that screw fits all the way in there, and then I just use a long screw bit to get that to screw all the way in. So that squared up real nice, and then I'm just putting these supports in here as well, and I did the same thing, kind of made a pocket, almost like a pocket screw for those holes. Just drilled them in, and then the screw, you know, sits in here like that. So once this door is all finished, I'm going to stain this door up and get some hardware cloth put on everything. I've got some old hinges that we reclaimed off of another building at my wife's parents' house, and we're going to try to reuse some of the old hardware, and we've got an old fresh eggs sign here that we're going to hang up on the chicken coop as well. That's an old sign that came from my wife's father's home, and they're no longer using it, so we're moving it here to our new chicken coop. So once this is finished up here, I'll give you an update on the progress of getting the hardware cloth on and how that goes, and we'll probably wrap up this video for the chicken run. And the next thing I'm going to do is get some wheels put on here and do some finishing touches around the whole thing, and I'll do kind of an overview video that finishes off the whole system here with the feeders and waterers in it, and the extra egg box out here in the run and the wheels on it and stuff like that. So but this is the basic construction. Alright, so part of this part of the door here is just going to be some old reclaimed hinges, and so I've kind of brushed off as much of the rust as I can. They're still pretty rusty, but I got most of the large pieces of rust off. Soaked them in some mineral spirits to get the rust out of the actual hinge portion of them, and then I'm just going to go ahead and spray paint them black with some Rust-Oleum spray paint here, just to get them covered up a little bit. That should last a little while anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get these done and get back to the door. Alright, so we've got those hinges on here. It actually turned out pretty good. I think that paint should prime and seal those up pretty good, so they ended up looking pretty decent. Got the door on here, and I just need to buy a latch for it. Here is the only thing I need to get for that, to finish the door up, and then put the hardware cloth on the outside. I've also gone and put the hardware cloth on here, and I'm just using some staples to staple the hardware cloth to the sides. And I've got just about all of that finished. Got the end here done, and the back side pretty much all done. And so all I have left to do is just the door, and then around the bottom here. And once we get that finished up, we'll show you the progress here. Alright, so we've got all the hardware cloth on here, and the latch on the door. I just used a little barrel bolt here for that. But the hardware cloth went up pretty easy. We did staples throughout and hammered the staples down after it was done, because I just have a cheap staple gun. So, but we did the hardware cloth all the way around here on the bottom, and of course on the sides as well. And so everything's sealed up and just about ready for the chickens to get in here. So I've got the give you a shot of the back of it here. So the only things that are really left to do is just some odds and ends. In order to make this chicken tractor mobile, I will have to, get some tires in here and build the hitch for the tractor. This is all completely, detachable here. Nothing's attached to the coop, so that this whole chicken run can move right away from it. So I just want to make it so I can just hook my little lawn tractor up and just kind of tote it around the yard for the day and leave it. So I'm going to go ahead and do an update for that in the next video. Also need to add the automatic watering system and feeding system into the unit, which are going to be hanging underneath the main part of the chicken coop here. And once I get all that finished, I'll update the video as well. We went ahead and added these real inexpensive little tiles into the removable cleaning pan here. So as you saw in the first video, this just slides out, so you can real easily clean out the wood shavings and that out of the pan. So we did the same thing with the nesting boxes in here as well. So they've got little chicken hardwood floors. These things are super cheap. So I think they're 30 cents a piece or something for these little panels. So not a lot of cost into those. We got the fresh eggs sign up here, and everything else is pretty much finished up. The nesting boxes from the top side here, and I do have to get a piece of weather stripping to put across here, because a little bit of rain does get in through the crack there if it blows. The overhang does cover mostly, but if the rain blows in from the side, it gets in there a little bit. We had that experience the other day. So, but pretty much finished up here with everything. So we're gonna put the chicks in the next few days. Once it gets a little bit warmer out, and once I get everything finished up, I've got some solar lights we're gonna put in. And like I said, some of the other little odds and ends, we'll go ahead and give you guys an update on that. So we'll do have one last video with all the final updates and the working removable chicken tractor here. So thanks for watching the progress as it is. Have a good one.